Okay, I'm kind of nervous. Hello! Welcome to my channel. My name is Chloe Danielle. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm excited to answer your questions. We have a lot, so there might have to be a part 2. Oh, so why did you and your ex break up? We're gonna save that one later because I have a feeling that a lot of people ask me that question. We're gonna do a different one first. The second one is the same thing. Okay, first question. What is your Instapic editing process? P.S. I love your words. Where are my words? P.S. I love you. You're my comfort YouTuber. Thank you. I love you too. The way I go through and edit my pictures is I literally just go through my camera roll. I heart whatever has potential because I take a lot of photos. I will edit it through the Photos app. Then I put it in an album so that I can go to it faster for like my digital photos.
My camera stopped filming, but to get digital photos like this and this and this and this, I use the Canon G7X and this app called Dazcam.
Oh, this is my cat Butter. Her name is Butterboots, but I call her Booty because it just fits her. She's just a little booty. How do you manage the challenges of BPD when it comes to relationships? I like talking about borderline personality disorder. I'm very passionate about mental health, and I think it's a very important thing to talk about, and I think my journey could help a lot of people just because I went through it. But I'm a lot healthier now, and I feel like the more I share about that, I could help people. So I'm open to talking about that. One of the biggest things I'm really working on right now is my attachment style, because I notice when I'm in a relationship, I'm very anxiously attached, and then when I'm alone and not dating anyone, I'm very secure in myself, and I actually really like myself. I don't think that's healthy, obviously, and that's something I really wanted to work on for a long time now. In BPD, there's a lot of black and white thinking, so it kind of gets hard to navigate because it's like I either feel this completely or this completely, rather than like sometimes it's okay to have a middle ground. So I feel like I've really been trying to balance attachment to a healthy extent, because you can't have connection without an attachment, but at the same time I don't want to just be so attached to anything that's in my life that it's really hard to let go of. So I've just been trying to be very aware of it, and the more I practice it with like the connections in my life, the easier it gets. There's obviously times where that still is a big thing in my life. And also another thing too, I actually learned this in therapy too, and I still think about it every day. My emotions sometimes tell me to do this, so rationally I do the opposite. So instead of like acting this way, which is maybe being a little bit more emotional towards something, I notice that sometimes if somebody really hurts me, I want to like block them, and so I just do the opposite of that initial reaction. So I try to react less and do the opposite of what my initial reaction is, and if I still feel it by like 48 hours, then I need to like actually process that emotion instead of just acting on the first emotion I feel. And that's really helped me with my relationships because I'm not hurting anybody, or at least intentionally trying to hurt anyone. And I'm also trying to be a little bit more mindful of how other people might be feeling, how my actions can impact them. And I really try to balance that feeling too of like what's good for me and what's good for other people. It's been a really long process to get to the point where I'm at now. I have the knowledge that I didn't have when I was like 19, being, you know, hurtful to people without realizing what I was doing. I feel like I've learned from that. So packed question, I know. What's your favorite tattoo? I love this question. I think my favorite tattoo are the ones on my wrist because they're from my favorite movies, Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, and they're just really pretty and dainty, and they're light blue, which is one of my favorite colors. I really like colored tattoos, even though the maintenance of keeping up with colored tattoos is expensive because they fade really fast, but I love them. I think they're just so dainty looking. I'm not like a big fine line tattoo person. Like, I like bold tattoos, but I don't know, something about the color just feels like me. How did you start making jewelry? This is a good question, but I'm going to film a separate video all about my process of how I started my own business, just because it's a really fun story to talk about. But if you don't know, I have a jewelry business called Sharky's Co, and I love it. It's my passion. It's my whole entire life. It's all I ever think about, and something that I want to do for the rest of my life. How has navigating a small business so young been on your mental health and sanity? Ooh, that's a good one. It's been a lot of trial and error. It's just hard. I think right now I'm struggling with finding the balance of social life and taking care of myself, and also putting my soul into my business. I feel like I start a collection, and then once I'm in it, which is like a good thing, I don't know, maybe it's an artist thing, I really don't know, because when I'm in it, like I'm in it. I'm like consumed by it just because I'm so inspired by what I'm doing and it just flows like that. Once I'm in the zone, it's really hard to want to step away from it because I have these ideas and I just want to do it. So it's been really good for my like emotional state, I would say, just because if I'm feeling a lot of emotional things, I really dive into it. And I feel like when I'm in the process of making things, I'm like processing emotional things as well. It also calms my nervous system maybe because I'm using my hands and I'm creating something. It's a really healthy outlet, but I think it'd be healthier if I found the balance. That's been a little bit hard on my sanity, but I always create an amazing collection and I'm always really proud of myself. So what excites you about your journey the most looking back? Well, I think what excites me the most is the fact that I've overcome a lot of the things I didn't think I would. I think it's such a beautiful thing because I didn't know I was gonna be almost 24. I just feel like I've lived in like survival mode a lot of my life, and the fact that now I'm just actually just happy. Like for once there's nothing going on with me and I'm actually happy and I can be there for other people feels really nice. But yeah, just to be alive, honestly, like I'm very grateful, and there's a reason why I'm still here. Maybe I can like have the life I've always wanted to have. Maybe I will have all the things I've ever wanted, and maybe I'll be a grandma someday. I don't know, I just never thought that would happen, so it's very, very exciting. That was a good question. How are you liking Dallas/Frisco? So I live in Frisco, Texas, and I don't have any family here besides my immediate family, my mom, my stepdad, and my sister. So it's kind of weird that I'm even here. It's actually been the best little surprise ever. I never thought I would live in Texas and love it, but I do. I think there's so much more to do here. The weather's beautiful. I mean, like the trees still have their leaves. I don't know if they'll lose them. This is my first winter living here. I moved here in July, so this is like still all new to me. I don't think I would want to like buy a house here someday. But like at this point in my life, I'm having a great time. So who knows where I'll live, but I do really like living in this area. And I like living at home with my family. I love it actually. Would you ever move to Seattle, Washington? Oh, sorry, Brady. Yeah, actually, I've considered it. I thought about moving there this year, like the beginning of 2025. My friend lives there and really wants me to live there, and I would love to live there with her. And I don't know, I want to. I just, like I said, I'm having a really good time at home right now. I'm like developing really healthy habits and routine, and I like my space, my room, my family, and my friends here, the weather. But I will say, I am going there in January. So yes, maybe. We'll see. What's your view on life? That's something I love to talk about because I'm a very spiritual person, and I feel like that's a really hard thing to get into right now. I would like to start a podcast again, and maybe that is something I could talk about on there. That'd make a really good episode. And it's just like a very packed question. I want to like give time to that question. Where are you working right now, and what are you up to? I'm working on my business full time. I'm working on my art. As of right now, my job is my jewelry business. I'm trying to film videos again, so let me know what kind of videos that you'd want to see because I love filming. This is like where everything started. I was doing YouTube before I did my jewelry business. This is like my home base. Like this is my baby. Do you only have one kitty now? Yes, this is Butter. It's just me and Booty now. I used to have a cat named Chicken. We love Chicken. She looks like a tabby cat, but she actually is part leopard. That's what the vet said. I had to give her to my grandma for one because not only does my grandma love her, if you don't know, they live in Florida, and I've lived with them for like 5 years in Florida. Every time they came over, they wanted to take Chicken. Always was a big fight. You know, the universe does funny things because it just happened where Chicken just had to go with them actually because I was moving a lot. St. Pete and then Tampa, all in the same year. I moved to Kansas City back home, and then we moved here. So Chicken just doesn't move good, and I felt like the selfless thing to do, no matter how much I wanted my cat, was to give her to them. Favorite clothing store? I don't love consumption. I try to not buy if I don't have to, but the thrift stores here suck. I needed basics. I just needed some good, soft basics. I got them at Garage. Their stuff doesn't give me really bad sensory issues. How do you stay positive through everything? Well, I don't always. The quote of the day, actually, I found it in my car and it just stuck out to me, and it said something like, the one who brings joy is the one who receives it. I just feel like I've always tried to live by that. I feel like when you're in the darkest place in your life, you really have to look for the little pockets of joy. It's just always been that way. So I just live by that, girl. But trust me, there's times where I have to fight to look for it. Do you think mermaids are real? What's your opinion on them? I love mermaids. I do think they're real because I think anything could be possible. Who's to say they aren't real just because we haven't found them? There's so much of the ocean we haven't even searched. And also, do you think they want to be found? No. So yeah, I do think mermaids are real. I do love mermaids. I mean, how can you not? I have a little mermaid on my wall right there. So I do love them.
Okay, as you can see, the sun is going down, so I'm going to be making a part 2. Feel free to leave a comment asking me anything you want to know, and I'll answer it in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Until I